Some of the biggest struggles that vet techs face are feeling underappreciated, feeling underpaid, and taking their work home with them. I, speaking from personal experience, working in clinic for so long, I suffered from a lot of burnout, and I think that that's a really big issue that faces a lot of veterinary technicians, or that a lot of veterinary technicians face for all the sort of aforementioned reasons. Um, it can be difficult to feel appreciated by the company or the clinic that you work for, also the owners whose pets that you're treating, and that can just really wear you down on a day-to-day basis. When you have good intentions, but you just feel like you're not appreciated for the work that you do.
I think the biggest struggle that I saw in the field was when you see a pet that comes in with a prognosis that is something that they can treat, but the owner isn't able to. And then you're faced with, as a vet tech, coming forward and presenting them with an estimate for treatment, and the owner is saying that they can't do it. And then ultimately, the most humane thing to do at that point is to euthanize the pet. So that, I think, is really what tugs at your heart the most, because it's something that's treatable, and it just comes down to the finances at that point.
Some of the biggest struggles that vet techs face are uh, pay is one of them. We are not paid enough, and that makes it very tough because we love what we do and we love helping these animals so much, and there's very little monetary value in that. I think that speaks to what Trupanion does as a whole. And that's one of them. The other one is getting to know these patients over time and knowing who they are and seeing them as a puppy, and then you see them later on in life and you're there through the whole thing just like the owner, but it's never about you, it's always about the pet and the owner, so sometimes that can be really hard.
The struggles that veterinary technicians face is, to me, I always think of an onion. It's peeling back each thin layer, and I feel like everything is related to the same thing. Those layers can be, we are working long hours, we're on our feet all day, sometimes we don't get breaks. We are all here strictly just for the pets. We want the best for them, and we'll sacrifice our own well-being for the health and wellness of our patients. Another layer is conveying the value of veterinary medicine so that our clients or the pet owners perceive that value the way that it is on an estimate. In veterinary medicine, we practice medicine on the same level or sometimes superior to human healthcare. And a lot of pet owners are surprised by that. But we are doing all the same things, sometimes even more in a concentrated environment. And it's happening in such a short amount of time that it's hard to convey that value compared to what they would normally pay if it was a human procedure. So financial restraints are one of the big layers of that onion. But if a pet owner can have that perceived value, they're more likely to say yes. But then they still have the hang up of, how much is this estimate? I still don't know if I can afford it. So whenever they have insurance, being a veterinary technician, those are the best clients. We love them because they say yes. A lot of times they won't look at the estimate. And then all of that time we would normally spend figuring out how they're going to come up with money to pay for this estimate, we can place a catheter, do x-rays, have the IV fluids going, and the pet already feels better in the time that maybe they're still filling out care credit or trying to get a relative to help pay for the estimate or the bill. So it is a huge stress reliever for the veterinary technician whenever they can do what they're there to do and what they went to school for and what they're good at.
I think some of the biggest struggles vet techs face nowadays is the staffing issues that the clinics are seeing with COVID, post COVID. Um, a lot of it also is emotional burnout, physical burnout. Um, being with Trupanion, we realize what mental health, taking care of your mental health is really about and how it should be. So I think vet techs aren't treated well just due to the staff shortages.
Definitely compassion fatigue. It's really hard all day long. The emotions that you're going through very, very quickly. You're having a great day one moment with a healthy puppy, and the next moment you're helping an owner make those quality of life decisions. And going through those emotions so fast day in and day out can lead to a lot of compassion fatigue really, really fast. So that was what I struggled with the most. Another big barrier is just the costs of care right now, even as a vet tech for your own pets, making sure that they're getting the care that they need. That can be a big stressor because as vet techs, we know the ideal treatment plans and what we want for our pets, and we have all of this knowledge, and sometimes costs keeps us from getting the care that we want for our pets too. So that's another big struggle. And there's the list can go on and on and on, but from my personal experience, I always circle back to compassion fatigue.
It's an emotional roller coaster. I mean, seriously, you're in one exam room doing a euthanasia on a 13-year-old dog that's been a client of yours for 10 years, and everybody's bawling, and it's emotional, and you're saying goodbye, and you walk out of that exam room, and you go down the hall, and you walk into a new puppy visit, and it's an owner who has a new puppy, and you gotta shut it down, and you gotta smile, shove it in a box, and you gotta walk in and say, "Hey, you got a new puppy. This is wonderful." And then the next appointment is a pet who's sick and who the owner can't afford treatment. And then the next appointment, these are 20-minute appointments, right? And then the next appointment is, a wellness visit that's really easy, but they don't believe in HeartGuard or heartworm prevention. And then the next visit, right? It's just this emotional roller coaster when you put money and emotions and love and pet care all together and put it in a pot and stir. It's tough. And it's boom, boom, boom.
I think the biggest struggles that vet techs face are an underrepresentation in our culture of what do they really do and what role technicians play in the practice, as well as in some cases underutilization in the veterinary practice. We're a very skilled bunch that can bring a lot of benefit to the lives of both pet parents and their pets.
Veterinary technicians are hard workers, and that is something that is really hard to do all the time. It's a physically, emotionally, mentally demanding job, and I think that the strength it takes to be a veterinary technician is not something for everybody.
Dealing with the upset clients who are really worried about money and finances and think that we are making a decision on how everything is structured.
Oftentimes working as a technician in clinic, we notice how much work that we have on our plate and often not enough time or hands to complete those tasks. We are constantly bouncing back and forth between different appointment types. There's a lot of emotions flying around in the day, and we often have to present ourselves in the most professional manner, as well as ensuring that our team and as well as our clients are having the utmost care. Some of the biggest rewards of being a veterinary technician are not only being able to help animals, in many capacities, whether it's the happy, healthy puppy that comes in or something with a routine problem or something scary that's being rushed through the doors to your ER. You get to, as a veterinary technician, just being able to help and care for your patients was one of the things that I enjoyed the very most. Also, as a veterinary technician, speaking from personal experience, you form relationships with the people that you work with your coworkers and the clinical staff, like I've never experienced in previous jobs. The camaraderie, the trust, the fun that you get to have on an everyday basis with the people that you work with also makes the job singular and extremely unique for what you guys all accomplish together every day. The ability to work together as a team and feel that sense of collective accomplishment is like nothing I've ever experienced before.
I really enjoyed working in neurology. You see pets that come in that can't walk, and they come in through the door and they're in a lot of pain, and they go through surgery, and after surgery, sometimes right after surgery, they're able to move their back legs again, and that really, really was so rewarding because you know at that point this dog is going to be able to walk again.
Just like we get to see those pets kind of to the end, getting to be there for them their entire lives is just very cool. It's also great to have someone come and be like, help me, help my pet. I don't know what's wrong. Running those diagnostics, figuring out what's wrong, being able to be part of that plan to help that pet and, hopefully, make their life better and help the owner feel better and just everybody feel better in general. That's the most rewarding.
I really enjoy anesthesia. I like the technical aspect of veterinary medicine and how it can be life-threatening and stressful for the patient. But to me, that brings me comfort because I know how to execute my talents in order to keep that patient safe in a stressful environment. And whenever we have a patient come in that is an anesthetic risk or has underlying comorbidities, then it makes me feel at ease because I know that they're in good hands when I'm monitoring their anesthesia.
I loved being a vet tech because I loved being part of that animal-human bond. I got to make a difference every single day. Just being there for the clients, loving on the pets, knowing that I was making a difference every day in that human animal bond, in the animal's life, the human's life. So, and I get emotional. I haven't been in the field in 4 years, and I get emotional just thinking about my work in the field, in the clinics.
I think the most rewarding for me is the joy that you see in people and their pets, their relationship that they have.
Getting to help pets. I think everyone in the industry is here because we love pets. We love helping pets. There's nothing better than seeing a pet walk into your hospital and they're not doing well, and then watching them turn around and leave your hospital healthy and happy, and seeing the joy on the owners' faces when maybe their pet has been hospitalized for a few days and they haven't seen them, and when they see them again, their pet has done a 180 and is doing so much better. Those types of moments and those types of rewards meant the world to me. I always remember one specific French bulldog that came in, ruptured disc, was paralyzed, hospitalized with us for months, and that dog got to walk out of the hospital. And I remember seeing the owners' faces, and there was nothing like it, and that made the job worth it for me. Everything else that I was going through at that time was overshadowed by that moment.
Oh, it's a wonderful profession. Oh my gosh, I love it. I've never done anything else in my entire life, and I wouldn't change a thing. It's those days balanced out with the joys, or the cute little puppy, and you get to sit on the floor and do fear-free puppy visits, and then you fix a pet who's broken or who's sick, and you bring it out to the owner. You go through the discharge instructions and you show them how to do everything, and then you bring that pet out to that owner, and the pet is ecstatic and the owner is ecstatic, and you're just like, oh, this is good. So yeah, it's having a voice for those who don't have a voice, and being able to care for them medically and emotionally and physically, and then being able to help people through their pets.
We get to make a impact in the life of pets and their families every single day in so many different ways. And we make a difference. The world is a better place because vet techs are in it.
Being a vet tech has so many aspects that are amazing and bring you joy. Just working with animals is the most obvious one. You get to see them either hopefully when they're healthy and happy, but also those times where you're able to help clients work through something really difficult, like their pet being sick, or, be that shoulder to cry on if, outcomes aren't good or the pet's nearing the end of their life. Other aspects is just really being the voice for animals that don't have their own, getting to advocate for their wellness, educating clients who maybe don't otherwise know how to take care of their pet or what the best choice is, or providing them with the details so that they can really make the most informed decision.
There's so many joys that it's hard to summarize. You get to be happy with people. You get to enjoy their pets. You are part of their wins, and that's really amazing. And that's one of the things I love the most about being in practice and being on this team as well. You get to really enjoy the wins and the perseverance of pets.
It's very fulfilling to help other animals when you actually feel like you're doing something good with your life. And especially, you know, they can't talk to us. So when you kind of figure out what's going on and you start seeing them get better and, you know, they're rewarded with lots of cuddles and licks and, you know, just seeing them bounce back, it can be really rewarding just to help them out.